Right? Yes. Good morning, everybody. I hope you slept well and you're fit and for today. I learned a lot of Swedish culture yesterday and tomorrow, and I know that in about 15 minutes we should have what is called fika, or coffee break, maybe 15 minutes session, and after that 2 hours is a bit off balance. So we will make our coffee break a little bit later. I hope you can accept it, and because I'm a foreigner, but I'm still learning and I'm willing to learn. Just this morning I said yesterday we will start with the sutemi waza of Nage no Kata. But before we do it, please sit down, and I want to show you something and explain something I was asked yesterday. Yesterday in the restaurant, while we were waiting on the food, I was asked about my favorite kata and why this is my favorite kata. My favorite kata is kushiki no kata. The reason is not because the techniques are so inspiring. They are, but this is not the main reason. The main reason why I love kushiki no kata over the other kata is the philosophy behind it. Because kushiki no kata is from Kitoryu Jujutsu, and it's outdated. It's Koryu Jujutsu. It's really 17th, 18th, 19th century culture in Japan. And there's one practical thing. I don't want to talk about too much about Koryu systems, but there's one practical thing that I could transfer into my judo from this Kitoryu philosophy, which helped me to improve my ranri. This really improved, and it also helped me to improve the quality of my training, because it's something in the mind. And it was, for me, very difficult to understand when I first heard about the theory. But then I had one day, and I was in bed, and I could not sleep, and I had a bing. It's called a Geistesblitz. You understand? And I was writing an email to a friend who explained it previously to me, and he said, I am so happy that you understood now the commonly known concept of, say, what? Commonly known? Never heard of it before. It's not commonly known. Maybe in Japan it's commonly known, but not here. You're ready to be thrown? So I give you. Now I'll give you. The idea is to know somebody and how they will feel to be thrown. They will feel the process into the technique. And the idea of the theory is simply, at the moment you are two persons, each has its own will thing to do. But there's one moment, he is attached to my body, so our body are like one. And I'm the only one who has control. No control for me. The same when I do, for example, I put the weather. No, you feel you lost that. Yeah. And if you think about the process, now you can do your favorite technique. You think about the process, we are both together, and now I completely lost control. And this is what Judo is about. You have two, and everybody is looking for a control. Here we are. That's the aim. And clean and proper technique, you don't really feel. You don't feel power, you don't feel resistance. The only thing you feel that there is something united, and I'm with my movement, I control both of us. Yeah, and then you can understand. Maybe you have felt it yourself. And when you know about this and know about this feeling, you can give yourself feedback. Yeah. For example, when I'm here and I know, oh no, he's not a part of me. Yeah. He's something else. Yeah. And I know this was wrong, totally wrong. This was not good because uh, we couldn't I couldn't manage to get it into my control. Now he's there. Thank you. I felt, but no, 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 no. If I knew, I need to pick on him. Now I tweaks in my movement. Yeah. Have so the process of doing another waza, no matter which waza, is a process of integrating the opponent into my control. Yeah? And taking in this taking away control from him, so he has lost, and then the technique is completed. Yeah? And the process of integrating is called sukun. Means building or creating or doing. This is the process. Is a process to integrate my opponent in my control sphere. And during this integration, he loses his control, so his control is broken. And this is the position. Position doesn't mean breaking of balance, but breaking of control. Position means destroy. I destroy his control. Yeah. I take away his control. I take away his center because of the whole movement of control by the center. I take away his center. No matter which technique, even by coaching, as there's a moment of coming together and control is completely lost. And when I do a guy, there's no classical um, breaking of balance, but it's a destroying of control. Yeah. And if you remember this, what they're doing, no which technique it is. Yeah. When remembering this, you can because you know how it should feel to throw someone. But the feeling is okay. The feeling was there's a resistance. There's a little little so there's some resistance somewhere. Then okay, he fell, but it was there was a taste of power. Yeah, there was a taste of power that was not, and it's good and you feel that there's not by this pulling it's a soft thing. Yeah, and now even if I do 2 or something like that, it's a kind of techniques are relatively easy. Techniques with a huge body count. I do not only the body. Yeah. If I do, for example, not actually commercially, not of it, but it's still there. More tension, more. but it should be almost. Okay, it's something I learned from philosophy of history. Not that it was in my brain and my feeling of judo for decades, but it was I was not really aware. I think many of you understand what I mean, and many of you already felt the same thing. Try to execute the technique. You get self feedback, then next time you try, you can improve. And from perspective of teaching method, what I can offer you is an outside view of the you see, and I explain what you see. I can explain angles, directions, push, pull, but we cannot feel. I cannot give you the feeling of it. Only a visual expression. This is outside. And then you start practicing, and you have your first attempt. Then you must compare what you saw and what I explained. You must compare the outside view with your inner, what you felt when doing, with your inner picture. So it's a good idea to try to give the expectations of the inner feeling. How does it feel to do it? And then the learner can compare a little bit more and has a little bit more orientation. The learner can compare what it should feel and what it does really feel, and then can actively walk. So there's no need for warm-up, but just to have the idea, you teach your partner move. You do any technique, but you try to integrate me into your movement. Listen, what's the concept? The concept is film. Now without film, because everybody should do it. And also, you still not without power, is now fully integrated. It's completely. Please, with your partner, try to get him to feel the argument. Yeah. Sure. And then we start with warm-up. No, tell them in Swedish, because I know what you want to say, and I would try to say the same in English. So it's better you explain it.
Jag berättade bara att jag fick en sån där upplevelse från åkerperspektiv på tävling, att den här punkten när man känner att tiden stannar och man vet att man kan inte göra någonting, man vet att man kommer bli kastad. Och man känner det så tydligt, det finns ingenting man kan göra. Att man kan få den punkten väldigt tydligt som en uppenbarelse i Shia i alla fall. Eller i Randori. Så det var bara det jag tänkte att den finns där också.
Yes, and we also have a traditional terminology in Europe. I think it's the same translations we have in Germany and we have in Sweden. So that we have the breaking of balance, and then we have the entrance, which is called Eingang, also in Germany. And then we have the Kake, we have the execution. And so we have 3, 1, 2, 3. because these were are the three Japanese words, kuzushi, tsukuri, kake, in their translation. And the understanding was first kuzushi, then tsukuri, then kake. But this is nonsense. Sorry, this is not the reality. And from the 80s, I felt this could be wrong. But later, I learned that this was a wrong translation and a wrong understanding. So the Japanese theory is correct, but our understanding of the Japanese theory was incorrect. So we thought this is nonsense. But there's still in the world that we have 1, 2, 3. And this even extends to 1, 2, 3, 4. So it extends to, first we move, then kuzushi, then tsukuri, and then kake. But this is nonsense. This is, I think, it's only one. It's a process. We are doing something, and everyone is trying to maneuver out the uke. And this is also already a part of the preparation of the throw. Yeah, I mean here, bam. Yeah. So this is the building up. It's creating the situation for the execution. Yeah, and of course this is an interaction process. And the one characteristic of this interaction process is taking away initiative and taking away control by keeping your own control. Of course, he wants to steal my control. Yeah, and this is what we then do in runnery. So we in both. Yeah, he's pulling here and he's gripping there, and of course I want to recover my control. And let's see who's doing better. And finally, when I'm in a good position, I try to attack, and I try to integrate him into my complete control. Yeah.
I think we need to change terminology in Sweden, because we should not talk about ingång, because ingång implies that I have to step in to do something, but in many cases I have to step away to create the opportunity. Right?
Yeah, ukiyotashi, like we did yesterday. Yeah.
Dynamic total movement.
Yeah.
But if you lack something, you perhaps lack doing the balance, breaking balance, then you start dividing these pieces if you're not doing the full.
Yeah. So in training we separate parts of the process. Yeah.
This needs to be there.
Yeah. So the full and complete action is always the interaction between us before. And if there's a passive uke, and I'm doing just an element, it's not the full technique, and it's not even the technique. It's just an element of the technique. Yeah. And when we did yesterday the ukiyotashi, which is far from being a standard technique, yeah. He initiated, yeah, bang, and I pulled, and he tried to resist, try to resist. It's very hard for you know. And now I take the initiative, and you feel you lost a little bit of the control, yeah. So even this follows that principle, yeah. And then you can do it the full sequence: 1, 2, 3. Even this follows that principle, and it's even more clear in Koshiki no Kata. Yeah, let's do again that one.
Or can we do this one instead of?
Okay, yeah.
Do you want to go there?
Yeah. The other no. Here, I think everybody can see. So we are two persons. He is attacking me. Bam! I pick it, and he already lost a little bit of his control, but not in an amount that he's really aware of it. Yeah. And then I take it away, and now he wants to recover his balance, and this is the moment we are one. We are really, really one. Bang. I can throw him just by going down and moving a little bit to the side. So without interruption, the technique. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even he's much heavier than I am, there's no chance for him to move away. So usually a judoka would not believe that this works. But it really does. John, come. you grab, up. Yeah? Because you reach out your hand a little bit too far, bang. Yeah? And I do not pull with my hand, but it's my body, because I have this unification of the bodies. If I would pull with my hand, you could resist. Yeah, he's too nice now. Now I pull with my hands, nothing happens. Yeah? I pull with my body, he goes away. And it's fascinating. Yeah. And he felt it, but this really makes the difference. So as long as I do these kind of movements, there's not an integration with our bodies. Yeah, he's still here like this. No, here's my body works. Yeah. Okay. 5 minutes for everybody. Please try these things. Yeah, to integrate your partner again. Not like this. Use your body. Thank you. I hope what I saw was much smoother than before. So I think many of you got an understanding what I wanted to say. And I want to show you a little bit how this influenced my run route. Now I'm 64. I cannot deny it. Yeah? But I'm still enjoying doing rugby. So you allow me to attack me, but not to 80%, because it's about technique. It's about what I want to do. So I will try not to allow him to integrate me into his sphere. Yeah. So I must somehow control his hand and arm, moving around. Okay, he lifts the elbow. Yesterday we saw it. What can I expect if somebody lifts the elbow? Yeah. So lifting the elbow means creating some space here. It could be Nage to this side, or it could be inside. So it's a Morata Nage or Kuchigaya. And defense against all three techniques is with my free hand. I close the space here, and with my thumb, I push back the elbow. So the moment he opens, I'm ready to protect here. Push back. So either one of the three techniques. Okay, you cannot hold the grip, but I try. So, and of course he will try to free his elbow, but I must be ready to protect this space, to avoid to being integrated into his sphere. Yeah? And this is what I can read from his elbow movement. Yeah? Of course, we try to integrate him into my sphere. And this is the forbidden area for him. And as soon as his weight is here, yeah, I try to push it together, or distance is a little bit more.
And Father Tushin was not the best situation because he was still with them. So I could not really integrate him because here he was hurt. Yeah. Okay, now it's much better. And so, if you have all this in mind, never ban your blood. Always try to be straight. In running is so much fun because it's like chess. It starts getting like chess, and it's not hurting anybody because struck the ear or something else. Yeah. Destroys your fingers. Yeah. Why? Okay, in 27, and you come to international competition. It's the style of judo in competition now, but the style of judo. Okay, so now you had 25 years of 25 years of judo, and maybe you have another 5 years of competition. The time is maybe okay. Then start the competition, maybe 20 years, not very much more. Yeah, but then when you finish competition, I stopped competing when I was 27. Yeah, my daughter was born when I was 26, 27, I stopped competition. And this is 37 years ago. So what comes after? Yeah. And if we only learn this kind of judo, which is really hard for the body, yeah, then our judo is maybe finished. And everything we can do is teaching others a judo that is finished when they are 30, or we can go to the referee for those who judo is 30. Yeah. So what comes after? For us and for all of you. And the answer is, the only answer is the kind of judo that is fun, that is interesting for us, and a kind of judo that gives us the experience and the enjoyment of the technique and of the movement. Nobody, I think nobody enjoys this, either as Tori or as Uke. Okay, we have to do it. To fight competition, and it's okay to do something, but there must be something else. Try to give you some insight what it's for me. Yeah, and this is the feeling for judo. And back to the beginning, this is something I pulled out of Rashiki no Kata, but it's there in everything we do in judo. Yeah. It's up to us to discover it as a teacher. It's up to us to open these ideas to make them available for us. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, it's a way to continue to compete because actually it's not stop, but another way of.
Yes. And the reason why I compete is not to win another medal. There are plenty of it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. The reason is to meet people, to stay healthy, yeah, and to have this, to enjoy judo, and to meet other people. And if you go to international competitions, yeah, you meet, you have an international community, you meet the same people who are dedicated to the same, you are dedicated, and it opens other opportunities, for example, to come to Sweden and to talk. So it's a door and a gateway to the world. Otherwise, we go back into our village, show to our village, our Judo and talk about the past. These are the alternatives. Yeah, then you understand what my motivation is. I feel that you have the same motivation, otherwise I wouldn't. Okay. Are you ready for some cooking with our partner? Are you ready for it? Okay, then okay, let's do sutemi waza. And for security reasons, we start with cooking and we are building the technique. Start with tumanage. We're building the technique around cooking. So it's completely opposite to yesterday. Yesterday, we were building the technique about the combative situation in a small run. Yeah. We didn't care about ukemi and other things because there's no security risk. Yeah. But for sutemi waza, we must go the opposite. Yeah. And very sadly, the correct ukemi is not very much focused in daily training. So we will improve our ukemi first, then proceed to tournament. Okay. So, from here forward,
Ukemi forward, rolling, senpo kaiten is the Japanese name. I want to see what you are doing. And then it's from a lower position, and they are explained. Yes, one foot is ahead of the other, and we stick the hand between our feet, shoulder to the front, head to the side, and then rolling. Yeah? This is typically the way it is learned by children, also in Sweden, I think. Yeah? Later, when you do it from a standing position, people still stick the hand between the feet. Yeah? So it looks like this. And this is not so good. Yeah? Some also are not rolling over the arm, but like this. So they have hand and shoulder. Yeah? And this is incorrect. This is even worse. But the other thing is, if I go down here, this is not realistic when I'm thrown, because when I'm thrown, I'm stretched forward. Yeah. But this is the easy way because the body makes a small roll, and a small roll is easier to stand up because there's some acceleration. You know, ice skating, yeah, when they do the pirouette, they have the arm stretched out and it's slow and it's faster, and then it slows down again. Yeah? And this is the same thing we use for the when we roll. Yeah? For example, when there is a handstand, it's like big, and then we make ourselves small, and this accelerates the rotation speed. Yeah? And then we can easily stand up. So, for example, you're here, small, and this accelerates. And when we do the rolling action, we make ourselves small, and then it's easy to stand up. But again, this is unrealistic. Yeah? We have to stretch forward, so minimum half a meter or a meter ahead of our feet here. Yeah? This is a more realistic style. And if you see this line, on this line, many people have the hand here between the feet. This is not good because it twists the body. It should be in the line of the forward foot. So we are here in this line.
Okay. So what I want you to do is put your arm forward, not down, in the direction of the right foot. And here. This is much better way. Forward. Finger, side, almost stretched arm, not like this. This is not right. This is almost right. Okay. Start to the belt. So the hand is over the shoulder. Yeah. And then I have to do the ukemi. And if I do something wrong, you good. And go back, bang, and up. 5 times, everybody. So only one side. We believe that everybody can do it on the left side also. So we skip the left side. And now we change. He's given the feedback. Yeah, so everybody has 5 ukemi. Okay? Yes, a very interesting setup for training. No matter if it's kata or any technical training. So feedback is a big problem. You cannot learn and progress without feedback. But if you have a group, you cannot give feedback to everybody. So you must organize feedback in a different way. And if you the students work in groups of 3 and one is given a feedback, okay, they do not have as many repetitions as they would have when they do it in pairs, yeah? But they have a feedback. And additionally, everybody learns how to give feedback, and everybody learns how to interpret what you see. And then the understanding of technique is much better. Yeah? When I watch somebody and I give feedback and I correct somebody else, and I know what are the points I have to watch, and then I do myself, yeah, then I can remember the points and I can feel it, and the other one gives me feedback about, yeah, what he or she received before as a feedback, yeah. So it's the technical development is faster, usually faster. Even we have less repetitions because the understanding is better. And if the students are used to it for a longer period, they can observe and understand much better demonstrations and explanations. Yeah? We experience, I think, very often that we try to explain something and demonstrate something, but what the group sees and what they understand is totally different to what we think they should have understood. Yeah. So we continue working 3. Now you're here. You have to do the ukemi. So you stand just like this. I'm sitting here, having both lapels, and I'm rolling a little bit backward, and just step forward with the right foot and do the ukemi. That's it. Without this foot. Okay. So it's it's in continuation. We don't have this. Yeah. I have my guides, yeah. And what you have to observe is step with the right foot, the arm, yeah. And what you have to observe is that close to my heels, not here. So I should be under them. This is important. Yeah. Okay, and then we proceed without interruption to the next form. The next form would be here. My foot in the Kumalaka position, but I must be under him, up and then without kicking back, but guiding in this direction. So 2 steps in one, please, in groups of 3. Now it should be, Uke should be ready to fall without fear.
and familiar with the ukemi, with the situation and everything. This is very important. Do not proceed to the next step when uke is not really feeling comfortable with it. Yeah, because if uke is getting afraid, it will destroy everything. Yeah. So these steps are very, very important. But now comes a very critical thing, because it's now the most important part of the tomonaga of the throw.
When I do tomonaga, the most important element is that my hip is under him. Yeah, I must be very close under him with my hip, because if I fall away from him, so I just can push him away, but not go over him. So I just do it to another. Yeah, it's important to go down deep, and my hip is very close to the heel. This is what we have to learn, and this makes the biggest problem in learning. Yeah? So Uke must help me now a little bit, because it's not so easy in the beginning. Yeah, I have a double lapel grip. Yeah, and I step forward, so toes on the same line. I go down very deep, and he must hold me. Yeah, and I set my foot here, and he's holding me a little bit, and I go down, 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 and when I'm here, you do okay, maybe did before. Yeah, so he must a little bit assist me until I'm familiar with this movement, with going down close to the hip. Here, now, it's also very important that my hip is not here, because go down, up, down, and then he accepts. As soon as I'm there, he accepts, and he releases his holding, and he steps forward and does the okimi. Okay? This is a very, very important step for Tori to learn. Otherwise, you see children, no, everywhere in Europe, tomonaga for children competition is forbidden now.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. In my days, it was not forbidden, so I was one of my favorite techniques when I was 12 or 13. Yeah, but we really saw somebody fell down, pushed away. This was terrible. But Ola and I, we're teaching kids in Italy, and introducing some techniques of Nagano Kata. We did exactly what we do today. And the day after, there was a competition, and one of the boys was throwing Ippon with it. Okay, he thought it was Ippon. Then they explained to him that it's forbidden in this age. But it really worked. So Saturday learning tomonaga, Sunday throwing somebody competition. Okay. Please. Because we make an artificial break where it's, from the perspective of a good throw, there should not be a stop. But we introduce an artificial stop, and this changes something in the technique, and some additional help guide us a little bit away from tomonaga, and we must be fully aware of it. So, for example, if it's for many people, it's very difficult to have this foot in front and then to catch the foot. Yeah. And then there's a good method. So, for example, takes my foot, places my foot here. Yeah, and what happens now? Because the distance is too far. Yeah. So if I go down now, the distance will still be too far. If we do this, yeah, then I must jump in and go down. And she should not forget to make a step. Yeah. Then it's okay if I jump in. But the problem is, are those who need the assistance with the foot, are they really capable of jumping in? This is the next problem. Huh? I'm here, and he's holding me. Yeah? And imagine I would be a little heavier. Yeah? And I'm here, and he's really holding me. So he puts his hip back just to carry me. He holds me, and this is not the situation where I would do a tomonaga. Yeah? Because in reality, of course, the moment I go here, I pull him, I start to pull it. Yeah, and I set the foot while I'm on the way down. Yeah? But again, we have the problem. This is the key point, to be with my hip close to the heel. So no matter which help we give, we change something, and we must take care that that doesn't guide to other problems. Yeah. Okay. Now the situation. Of course, you know that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But we start with one step. So one step, and you move forward, but only to line up. So this is the situation. 1, 2. Yeah. And I still have the thumbs. So it's 1. And now, when he steps forward, I step in with my left foot, 1 and 2. Yeah. So it's my line up, he lines up, and I go down. Up. So my foot should not be here. Then I get it's a problem. So the toes should be maximum one line, maybe 5 centimeters apart. Okay. So this is 1, 2. With 2, I must go down. This is important. Not like this. Otherwise, I cannot set my heel. So I must go down deep, and then the tomo. 1, 2. Okay. Now it's getting real, and it's getting complex. And as I told you, we were kids. What we did to push them in the corner of the tetami. Stepping out is incapable. So we pushed them and then waited until they pushed back. Of course, this was our favorite technique of many of my comrades in the club. And we were 12 or 13. It worked perfectly. Okay. Please practice in groups of 3.
So the we need to complete it before. After we complete the tomonaga, we make an extended fika. Yeah. We could see that the difficulties are much more than before. The exercise before were very easy, but now it started to become difficult, more difficult. Has anybody of you an idea why it's getting more difficult and so much more difficult?
More details?
More detail? No, yes, some more details, yes.
I taught her how to do 3 things at the same time. When you go in, you have to move forward, go down, change grip,
Yeah.
and it's hard to do three things. Two things,
Two things is easier than three things, yes?
a bit complicated, say Ura, so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there was more time pressure. Yeah, because before we could stand, okay, he will hold me. Yeah, and now we have a situation where he cannot hold me because his balance is broken by this movement. So we have more time pressure. So there are some criteria that makes movements difficult or easy. And if you make a step-by-step progression in learning, we must reduce complexity and difficulty of the technique, and then step by step increase the complexity. And the difficulty is about complexity of techniques, and complexity is about the sequence. How long is the sequence? Yeah, so we can cut it shorter in shorter sequences. Complexity is about how many things we do at the same time. So it's a simultaneous coordination or a successive coordination. This is a complexity. Another point is the timing problems. Timing and speed. So these are time problems. Timing is the moment, to catch the correct moment. And speed is the execution speed. The faster it has to go, the more difficult it is, because we do not have so many possibilities to correct errors. Yeah? And the next is precision. If we have more precision, it's more difficult. Yeah? Some things are not so important, other things are details are important. The more details, the precision is more difficult. And the last thing is the Belastung, what we call what is Belastung, Elisabeth? Yeah, Belasting, physically, so it's power, and mentally. Yeah, mentally is we are afraid of something. We are afraid of failing, afraid of getting an injury. Yeah. So what we did is, first we work on the mental side. So Uke is not afraid, and all the details for Uke, and then step by step we integrate Tori's actions, and of course it's getting more details, more things at the same time, and a longer sequence. Yeah. So you maybe understand the general concept, and how this general concept now is applied to the step-by-step progression. Yeah. Yes. Uke always sets the environment, and in the first steps, Tori set the environment for Ukemi, because he did all the Ukemi himself. Now we have the switch. So Uke creates the situation for Tori to make the throw. So can I, this please? Now we make it even more complex because we do the 3 steps instead of 1 step. But maybe it's a little bit easier because you have more time to mentally prepare yourself what you're doing. So we start with both right side gripping, and I move forward, push you back, and the first step you resist. Yeah? 1, 2, 3. Now we're exactly in this position. Sorry, you're not too far. That one is here, and I push with my hand against the shoulder, and he resists by pushing with the shoulder against my hand. And from here, I change the grip. Changing the grip, moving forward, going down, and he tries to preserve his balance by landing his feet at the same time. But I think, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It looks easy, but it's again more details, a longer sequence. Yeah.
And yeah, and this is how it should be done in Nagano Kata. And many people do too much as uke, and this is we see strange things even in competition. So if he moves forward and pushes, step, 1, 2, 3, we see ukes really hanging back. No, I do not resist. I'm hanging backward, and of course you would do fuchigari or something like that. You do it thrown over there. Never to my narrow. Never to me. Yeah? So this is just show, which doesn't make any sense. So I really must resist. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and he must feel my resistance, and then he can run through it and stop pulling the thing. And I try to preserve my balance. The moment, just push. Yeah. So it's only this hand working, and watch my feet. So the moment he releases his grip, my body moves a little bit forward, and when he then starts pulling, push, and he then starts pulling, I line up, I try to defend. Yeah, but very often we see, yeah, very often we see that I hook his head, pull. We see that hook is hanging back, and now Tony is doing tomanage very slowly. You're smiling, wow, ochigari, something like that. This is completely nonsense. So in kata competition, very often you find both combined. So I'm hanging back, 1, 2, I'm hanging back. He's pulling, and I'm doing this, and then he's doing tomanage, and then stick your foot, and then so slowly, but it's totally nonsense. Yeah, but we see it. And then people talk about principles. Hey, what principles? If somebody is leaning backward, I throw him backwards. This is the principle. Somebody is leaning backward, I do not throw him forward. It's completely against the principle. Yeah, you should demonstrate it. What should we demonstrate? Is it about the visual impression? Is it about demonstration? Or is it about reality? Is it about execution in order, in harmony with the principle? Is it the functionality we bring into practice, or is it about creating a visual impression? Of course, it's about functionality. Yeah. So again, your pose. Yeah, totally. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yep. Let's stop that. Again. Yeah. This. Okay. Complex, more details. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And okay. Please, everybody. 5 minutes. I was asked to for a little repetition the ukiyo toshi variation of yesterday, but we can combine it a little bit with sunigaeshi of Nagano Kata. Strange enough, but when we think about sunigaeshi in competition, there are basically 2 styles of sunigaeshi, which are at the right side, the competitor fights against the left side. So, this way, and sunigaeshi with cross grip. Yeah. What I do, it's a personal thing. Come here, and these are basically the versions which are very successful in competition. Yeah? But both are not really nice to learn for beginners because sutemi is a problem. Shoulder, and I here hold on his head. Yeah? So be careful with this technique. So I think learning Sunigaeshi in the Nage no Kata style is much easier to introduce the concept of Sunigaeshi. Yeah? And so I personally would start teaching Sunigaeshi with the Nage no Kata style because it's much safer, but it includes all the important points. Then proceed to the competition. Now comes the combination, the relation to yesterday. So in many directions, there's a chance to. This is very popular in my competition days. I was doing it. It was yeah, like this, and I was here and okay, and I was waiting for the people to yeah, and lift me up. Like you want to, yeah. Situation. Do you remember? And lift me up. And then I grabbed the knee, and then over there. Popular technique from Georgia. Yeah, but now it's probably you will not grab my leg. But from there, CrossFit became very popular. Yeah, and this took me. Then, and here I take his elbow inside, and with my shoulder I push here. So now you see that he's off balance. Now I simply twist my body, and with my elbow I can push. So from here, I wait for his elbow. I know that you will do it. I can block it, but this is. And now it depends a little bit. His arm is beside my shoulder, over my shoulder. Inside, and lift him up. Just can turn around. You walk around here. Simply catching, putting the elbow, and now becoming one with him. Now I'm the one. Okay? So please try a repetition of yesterday, and then we proceed with Sunigaeshi. Okay? One. To walk in whatever direction I want, and I can throw. I can finish. Okay. Yeah. For the moment, we must do something by ourselves because I must explain some things. The way we do Sunigaeshi waza in Nage no Kata is from this Judo type position, which is a little bit strange. Yeah. Very often, people are much too deep and walk like this. This is not very good. Judo type is a position with good stability, but not only a defensive position, but also an offensive position. And from Jigotai you can attack. And of course, in Nage no Kata, somebody must attack from the Jigotai position, and it's Tori. So we enter the Jigotai position, and then Tori attacks by quick movement. So if I go down too deep, I cannot attack with a quick movement. So don't go down too deep. This is very important. Yeah? This Jigo type position is more or less a historic position and is not used so much in Judo. And there was a transition from Koryu Jujutsu, which used Jigo type position very often, to Budokan Judo, which focused more on Shizenten. So this is a little bit of a relict of old Jujutsu, yeah? But follows the principles of modern Judo as well. And there's another important point, and when Nage Kata was defined, we did not have judogi like this. These are not traditional judogi. The judogi of the time had short sleeves, and by the way, short trousers. This was changed in the beginning of the 20th century because it had so many injuries, because the surface was rough, and so the elbows became bloody, the knees became bloody, yeah, and so they longer sleeves and longer trousers were introduced to reduce infections of the knees. Yeah, but sumigaeshi is a relict of the old, and you must imagine there's no sleeve to grip. Yeah, that's the reason why we grip the arm, not the judogi. Yeah, we don't need for the kind of sumigaeshi we do in Nage Kata, we don't need the grip on the sleeve. But don't grip on the sleeve, always grip on the arm. And if you carefully watch the Kodokan video, the latest release, so the Tori had something, fingers, he was gripping the judogi. Yeah, but this is only a side movement. This is not correct. So only grip the arm. Yeah? And first, we must develop a feeling for this Jigo type position, because otherwise it makes no sense to start with it. And of course, it's a little bit weird. Yeah, but we must do some preliminary exercises. So please find a way. Just 1, 45 degrees. National codes. About 2 meters, maybe it's 1 meter, and the knees go a little bit outside, and my back is straight. Too much. Just a little. So this is the position, and I want to from 45 degrees to 45 degrees. Must do it with the partner. We have a bit more than arm length extended apart. Foot moving forward with the right foot, and left arm from outside grips the upper arm, the shoulder blade, and our heads are side to side. This is important. We're not standing like this and then watch each other. Hands are side by side, and here's no contact. Yeah, so neutral position. So now I step backward. Step forward. Please watch the 45 degrees and watch the distance of the feet. So 1 foot length should be distant, and this is unprecise. It was my fault, not yours. I produced the mistake to show it. Okay, so put everybody with your partner. And down.
So now, very important, because you have to be able to walk like this side to side, alone and with partner. So this is just a preliminary exercise. Yeah? But in reality, we don't do it in sumigeshi. But many people think it's right, then we turn to the left, and then we do sumigeshi. But this is not the story of the creation of the situation of sumigeshi. We do not. It makes no sense to just switch from right-sided standing to left-sided standing without changing anything else. Yeah, because it's just a switch of side. Who makes a switch from one side to the other side in roundering competition? And this cooperative, nobody. Yeah. So the story is something different. So I don't know. Start from this position, and this is a neutral position. So one of us must take the initiative, and that's me. What I want to do is I want to pull in this direction, because we know backward or forward is the weak side, and we decide to pull forward, yeah, and to throw like ukiyo toshi, yeah. So I turn my body, pull him. I want to throw him this direction. So this is what I want to do. And it's very important that you try to do this action and try to do this throw, because of course, he will defend, and this will create the situation I will use to have the sumigeshi. And if I do not try to throw, he will not defend. If he doesn't defend, there will be not the situation of sumigeshi. And then it's only copying some movement, but without any meaning of the story. And now, a very, very important point was from the other side. If I want to throw him, yeah, I must use my left hand. Just to show you what happens without my left hand, if you try to defend, I pull, nothing happens. But I need my right hand to push. Without pushing with my right hand, it's impossible to throw. And my attack doesn't make any sense if I don't push. So that my movement is I pull with the right and push with the left. This is my action. And I feel that it's demand. So here. Yeah. Okay. So everybody practice this attack, please. So where's Jan? Jan, come here. He must now defend against it. And for a little fraction of a second, there's force and counter force in balance, and I wait a little bit before I do the next action. Yeah. So we are here, yeah, and yeah. Okay. Now it's force power against power. So I have to change my idea. Now I realize I cannot throw. My plan A doesn't work. I cannot throw with this form of ukiyo-toshi. So the first thing I do is I suddenly release. So just do the ganz normal. That's natürlich. Widerstand. Did you see what happened? So it came back a little bit. It's just a little flip, yeah, because of my action. Yeah, it's not actively done by him, just by the release. Yeah, and this is a very important moment, because this gives me a chance to attack, because he's completely unable to do anything else in this moment. Yeah, we are here. Bam. Okay, we're here.
And now comes the big question: in which direction I can stay. In which direction I can break his balance? Yes, over there. And what happens if I break the balance and he defends? He makes a step. And now he's standing, like in the original direction of the kata. Yeah. So what should happen is that I'm here. I try to push it. Now I flip and break balance. Yeah. And he steps forward, and he's now in this position. He tries to defend. And okay, we will continue later from this point. Yeah. But I want you to create this situation before we do the final sumigation. So we are up. Yeah, just pull a little bit. First, let me, and then do not push and pull. Yeah, you could do it, but the more elegant way is wait until there's a little flip back. Here, up, resistance, flip and pull. Yeah, and he tries to preserve his balance. Okay, just like try it like we did. Yeah?
Usual mistake with sumiga ishi. Yeah. So I maybe I
explain the technique, and then to better understand the reasoning for this exercise. Yeah. So we are here, and I will throw it over there. Yes. Later. But first, I will break his balance over there. Because I want him to make this step. I want him to make this step, and then I turn a little bit by 40, then I can throw here. Yeah? So what happens with Uke is Uke's here, and he's pushed forward. I must resist. Okay. I'm unbalanced over there. Oops. And then there's a little turn after that. Yeah. And the very important thing is that he's unbalanced in this direction before. Yeah. Because what happens otherwise, you can do it as straight. He now doesn't make it correctly because I imagine you do the usual way. Yeah. But the usual way is 1, 2, yeah, and now try to make some negation. It's easy to defend, yeah, because balance is not broken. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now I tell you what you change as Tori, and I still will try to sit down. Of course, with a partner, we're used to this kind of demonstration, it's easier. Du schaffst es. We are here, and now before you turn, break my balance in this corner. Okay. Yeah. Now I make a step, and now I want to sit down, and now we can do some negation. I want to sit down. Yeah, but it doesn't work. So the difference is, if watch carefully, I'm doing the look at myself all along. The difference is, and I'm in a stable position here, and he pulls me over there, I can still and sit down. But if he first brings me off balance here, and I must make a step, and then he pulls me over there, it's impossible for me to defend. So we need this 2-step breaking balance. Yeah? To yeah? And that's why I know everybody is used to throw over there, and almost nobody is used to do this 2-step position. Well, it's not really a two-step kuzushi, but it's around the corner kuzushi. Yeah. And that's why I wanted you to just move away and let him go. Yeah. And if you stay there and just pull towards you, you cannot make the step. Yeah. So please, just for the direction, you're here, and step backward. Yeah. And then we are here, bang, I pull. I can throw. I can easily throw. You probably have no chance. Yeah, because the kuzushi starts here and continues. Okay? Please.
So we have, like Tumanage, we have a step-by-step progression. We cut into a sequence. Well, with Tumanage, we're starting with the throwing action, and later we proceeded to creating the situation. And here we started with the situation, and then we want to proceed to the technique. Usually, it's easier to learn if you start with the final action, and you add the actions that are before that, so that everybody knows what the result should be. Yeah. So from back to front is usually the better idea. We could also do it with sumigaeshi, but I wanted you to feel the difference. Yeah. So we have exactly the opposite strategy, but again the same problem. It's complexity, it's details, it's a longer sequence. We have to add something. We have the problem of mental fear of failing, fear of everything. Yeah, you understand? So you have two strategies, and if you decide the way you teach something, you teach a complex movement, you must find criteria to choose which one of the two is the better, because you cannot mix it. Yeah, you have to decide. And usually, if the final position before throwing can be simulated, then it's easier to start with the final action. If the final action cannot be simulated, from beginning to end strategy is required. Yeah. So in a real situation, maybe I would not start this way, but I would more start with the throwing action. But we did Tomoe-nage before, so we could adapt it to sumigaeshi, and then care about the final situation. Yeah. Okay, but the final situation of sumigaeshi, we must put it here. Sumigaeshi as a technique, yeah. As we said, what's the principle of sumigaeshi? Yeah, and I go back to the competition versions of it, and we will find the elements of the competition version in the Nagano kata sumigaeshi, and we will focus on these elements. This is important because the sumigaeshi in Nagano kata should be of value for our general judo. So the situation is completely outdated, what we do in Nagano kata, but the technical elements should be the same. Yeah. And what are the key elements of sumigaeshi? So when I'm here in this position, so the key element is that I'm building a halbkugel, like
Kupol. Kupol.
Yeah.
Alltså halvcirkel.
Yeah. So this is what I'm building. Yeah. With close contact and control. We are one. Yeah. Then the next thing is in the middle of it, I place my foot. And then I hook, and then comes the sutemi action. I go down and I turn him onto his back. These are three elements. If I do not have the yeah, and I do not have the foot in the middle, and I do not have the my foot hooked in, I will fail. Yeah, maybe I can lay down and kick, but I lose control. Yeah, it doesn't. But we do this version, and again we have the Halbkugel, yeah, and again I bring my foot in the center. I bring my foot in the center. I hook, and I go down and throw on either side. Yeah. So this is the same principles, but from different angles. Yeah? And Sumigaeshi, Nage no Kata, it should be the same in the final position. He's in Jigo time, grip. No, in the final position. And I'm inside, my foot is in the middle. We are close. Yeah, not like this. We are close. He's off balance. I hook, and then I go down quickly and throw. And this time the fall is safe because I do not pull him with the shoulder or with his head to the tatami. Yeah? But the elements are the same. We have the kuppel and the foot, the platform foot. He's a little bit off balance, and I hook. And the hook is done before I'm on the tatami. Very often we see too much distance, yeah? And then, of course, Uke is very cooperative, but Tori is already with his hip on the tatami, and then he's simply hooking much too late, but Uke is doing a nice ukemi. So this is completely meaningless, yeah? Because I lost all three elements of Sumigaeshi. I lost the kuppel. My foot was not in the correct position, and I was down on the tatami before my right foot was hooked inside the inside. Sadly, this happens very often, and you see it many times in Nage no Kata. So I do the bad version. Yeah, I move here, I move there, big distance. Yeah. And of course, you should focus on Kozushi, and we see very often Uke lifting up his heels and Tori with stretched out arms, lifting up Uke. I'm not so strong, maybe. I don't know who is so strong that can lift up Uke with straight arms. Yeah, and many people think that this is the good choice. So, distance is too far. I lift him up, break his balance, and I go down. You see, there's a lot in competition. Yeah, but I hope you saw that this is completely crap. Yeah, because it's so easy for you, instead of lifting his heels up, sitting down. I do like this. Bang, bang. Now he's sitting down. Nothing happens. Okay. Now the three elements. So here, break his balance here. You see our hands are closer together. Place my foot in the middle. We are close together. Try to sit down. I hook. Yes, and even he tried to sit down, it was not possible. Yeah, and the reason was the closer distance, yeah, the positioning of the foot, and I kept the close contact, and then was the hook, and then I could roll down easy. And
One
again,
more time, please. One more time.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. One. Felt good. Maybe I watched the video to check it, but it felt good. You could feel, vergessen, Schwedisch, wie sich das anfühlt, wenn dieser Wechsel nach dahin kommt. No, Uki should not have the feeling that he actively makes it by intention, but he's forced to make it.
Nej, jag måste ta den steg, annars kommer jag att ramla. Så han drar mig här inne, så jag måste ta den steg och tänka på vid. Bra.
It's not an active step, he's forced to do it. Yeah, okay? That's the sumigaeshi, and that's the three key principles of sumigaeshi that we find in every competition variation. Even what I did, my competition days, I was so terrible, and people were extremely doing on the left. I thought, oh, terrible. I wanted, but I couldn't. But I hooked in here, yeah, and then they switched the hip to the front, not to the front. Yeah, because of the wanted to react. Yeah, exactly. And now we could throw like this because they were getting stiff, and there was the hook, there was the foot, and there was the close contact. Even it was not so close together, but it was very tight. And these are the key elements of any sumigaeshi, and it makes no sense to practice sumigaeshi differently in Nagano kata. And of course, if it's so easy to defend by going down, makes additionally no sense. So if you use the remaining 4 minutes to 10 minutes past 12 for the sumigaeshi, then we can have a lunch. Okay? Okay. When you when Tori brings his elbow out and Uki simply turns his wrist. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can roll over the head.
Yes, I will roll here, but Tori will open up more.
Yes.
Makes a really fun. Because I understand
No. Man faller med handen i hand på varandra.
We have another technique. Because there's a very interesting thing about when you do sumigaeshi. Imagine this is the line of the first action is here. So I bring when I twist my body, I bring the feet on the line, and the second foot is exactly in the middle. And I'm here. But for waza, I bring my foot a little bit more outside, not here, but a little bit more outside. So the direction of the flow, sumigaeshi, here, and waza is a little bit more to the side. Yeah, this is the difference. Here. Now he's resisting, and now comes my hip. I turn my hip towards him and float him up and break balance in the same direction, and I force him to make a step, and then I simply let myself fall down, but with a strong and straight hip. This is very important. Many people from this position, they bend their hip. And then you're in this situation, the knee is bent, my hip is bent, and okay, he can do the rolling action, the roll, and then they again bring the hip up and to make it beautiful. But during the throw, when they come to the sutemi, the hip is completely bent. They give you another bad example, and you would see it exactly from this camera. So I'm here, and you see it? I was sitting there. But what it should be, lift him up, force him to the step, and then make it longer. Yeah, therefore I need great hip. Here, bang, hip forward. Here I can throw. Okay? So maybe when you start teaching, maybe you can start with waza. Yeah, and then okay, he makes the step, and then I turn around and make sumigation. I was thinking a lot about the best order of teaching sumigation and waza. So today I decided from Nage to sumigation to waza, but maybe it's a little bit easier to start with waza because you have the already the kuzushi in the right direction, and it's a little bit shorter sequence. This is something maybe for the future I will check and test, but it's very difficult to have silent courses, but everybody has some experience with sumigation and it's not easy to decide. Okay, this was the last remark. 10 minutes.
Yes, we will start with a little request about yokogake. Yokogake is a very interesting technique, but very often misunderstood. We won't practice, don't be afraid. I will only explain, and after that we will proceed with the waza of Katame no Kata. So we must go to the history of yokogake to understand the yokogake, to really understand the yokogake in Nage no Kata. Yeah? Remember what I said before, that in the beginning of the century the sleeves were short, and they were wide and short, and it was common to grip inside the sleeves, but here. Yeah? So I simulated with the grip here now. Just this would be the situation where they gripped. Yeah? And yokogake is a sutemi waza, and with the sutemi waza I'm here very close to my body, and I let myself fall, and then bang. Yeah, this was the idea. But both bodies are very close together, so the preparation and setup for yokogake was maybe like this. Yeah, and then bang, and from there we can throw. And now we have the situation we create in Nage no Kata for this. Yesterday. We had the situation for ukiyotoshi, and I said there are 6 techniques with these sugiashi steps. The first step is basically always the same, half step, and I pulled you and you recover your balance. And I change during the second step. There is some change for each technique, and I explain all 6 so you can understand what the changes are. The first, ukiyotoshi, I make a bigger step. He doesn't realize that I make a bigger step. So kuzushi is already prepared. Yeah? So the principle is increasing the distance. Next is kataguruma. we are here, and I change the grip to open, yeah, and then I can lift up. But in the second step, to be exact, in the second step I only change the grip. I do not lift up. So it's a 1, 2, no. Third step, I break your balance, I break your grip. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is the preparation for Kata Guruma. Then next is Harai Goshi. And in Harai Goshi, I decrease the distance because I change the grip and I bring it closer to my upper body, and then third, straight body, I'm here. Yeah. Then comes Tsurikomi Goshi, and I'm here with the grip, bang, straight, strong. You never bend forward. Always try to preserve your balance. Yeah. 1, 2, and now I increase and I enter again. This is the Tsurikomi Goshi. Yeah? In Sasai Tsurikomi Ashi, during this second step, I change the rhythm because I don't set my foot on the tatami. I move it back. I will throw. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah? By the change of the rhythm, I put pressure on him. Yeah? And now comes Yokogake. And in Yokogake, I start to twist him a little bit, but you must resist against being twisted. And then I shorten the distance. The third step is only a half step of mine. So we are here. 1, I start, and now I make a small step, only a little. You make a normal step. I make a short step, you make a normal step. 1, 2, 3. So we are very close. This is the point. Yeah, I bring the elbow inside and up, and with this hand in this direction up. And now I let myself go. Yeah, this is the important thing. So instead of increasing the distance like we do in Ukiyo-toshi, I make 1, 2, 3, and fall. Yeah. Are you ready to be thrown? And Uke must keep his the tension, yeah, and must not put your feet in the air. 1, 2, 3. Many people make the mistake that they forget that unbalancing bias sutemi. Funny thing, when I gave my daughter, who speaks Japanese and who can read Japanese, description of in Japanese, she started to laugh. And she said, "Hey, I've thrown myself away. I've thrown myself away." And so I said, yes, sutemi. How do you know? I said, sutemi waza. This is something I know as a judoka. Yeah? But she translated word by word. I throw myself away. Suteru, throwing away. And this means literally throwing away, giving up herself, sacrificing, and things like that. But it's not falling down. You do not let yourself fall down and drop down, but you throw yourself away. Yeah? Okay. 1, 2, small step, and I throw myself. So it was very late now, yeah, to show you that this creates the position. Yeah, this is Yokogake. The most common mistake we see is that Tori makes a big third step, then they're not close enough together.
Okay.